Advanced Audio, taking a closer look at Pulse 8. In this video, we'll be looking at the cloud connection options of the admin panel via web browser of the Pulse 8 Matrix. This panel looks very similar to the user screen version of cloud connection, except for one difference, the installer ID. Every Pulse 8 installer will receive an installer ID, which will allow you to monitor your Pulse 8 Matrix on the road. The monitoring pulses are sent every hour, but you can speed this up by clicking Send Monitoring Pulse now. This sends it to the Pulse 8 management portal, which you can access via monitoring.pulse8.com. When you get here, you'll log in using your own ID, which you can also see here, which is the same number as we put into here. On the dashboard, you'll see all the updates directly from Pulse 8 themselves. And if we click over to My Products, this will give you a list of all Pulse 8 matrices that you have out in the field with your installer ID. The matrix that we'll go into is this one here. So from this panel, you will see the system overview, the local setup, including what inputs and outputs are connected, as well as what the local IP address is of the unit. When we go into port details and we click on, say, output 1, you'll be able to see what output name it has, and whether or not the plug is connected, what sort of cable length it has going to that output, what sort of errors in the HDMI link you've got, and if there's a cable that has popped out, for instance, you'll see this go from hot plug true to hot plug false, which is pretty handy, particularly for those jobs where someone might have unplugged something but forgot to plug it back in again. Say the son in the family has unplugged his PlayStation and forgotten to reconnect the Foxtel box, then it's quite easy to see if the problem is just a loose HDMI or a not plugged in HDMI connection. Clicking on health gives you the temperature of the unit. So obviously during this time the unit was off, and the few days before that, as well as you can see here the dates of the units. You can see that the unit was operating within normal bounds. Updates allows you to update the firmware of the Pulse 8 Matrix remotely simply by clicking on here. You can also roll back to a previous version of the firmware should you wish. And you can also turn on or off automatic updates. If you've got a PDU connected to it, this will also give you the quality of the power coming into the PDU, as well as discrete control over each of the 8 outputs on the PDU for power cycle or shutdown. Lastly, and this is probably one of the coolest things, is installation report. So this gives a one-page summary of everything that this HDBaseT job entails. So what inputs and outputs are being used, what lengths of cables are being used, whether everything is performing as should, and what firmware the unit was. So the idea is once you finish the HDBaseT job, you can print out a copy of this report, give it to the customer and say, Mr. Customer, when I'm leaving this job, this is what your HDBaseT system looks like. 12 months later, when other tradespeople had been in, they swapped Cat6 cables around, and suddenly you can see that the cable length here has gone from less than 20 meters to 65 meters. So then you can tell the customer, look, there's obviously something wrong with your system now. I can come out, but it will be a chargeable rollout. So that way you can actually prove to the customer that you've done your job and it's not your fault that their system currently isn't working as it should. What this whole offering is designed to do is to save you having to roll out trucks every time something small goes wrong. You can quite quickly get an idea of what has gone wrong using this tool, and you can do it from wherever you are in the world. There's no need to port forward, there's no need to dial into VPNs. All you need to do is access monitoring.pulse8.com, assuming that you've put in your installer ID in the matrix, and you can access whatever matrices you want anywhere in the world. In this next video, we'll go through the network setting portal for Pulse 8 matrices. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and join our LinkedIn group for regular updates. Links in the description below.